Okay, so you can hear me, and are you recording on your laptop? It's going?
Yes, I am, and I'm staring at it right now, and it's got bars, and it's not too high.
Cool. And you better, because now we're not recording it through anything else. So if you don't get
Yeah.
recorded on there, this is a solo episode of me going, really? Yeah, I agree with that, and here's what I think. Okay, haha, that is funny, Oh my God. Okay, so, welcome to Herb Full of Popcorn. Just took us about 27 hours to get this started for some fucking reason. We don't know why. So now we're in a really good mood to discuss a movie that I don't think either one of us is that into. So this might be, I don't know. Plus you're bleeding out of your whatever again. So.
Mahoo-ha.
What's the thing? The hoochie coochie. The hoochie hoochie coochie.
Mahoochie coochie.
Yeah, and I don't want to jinx anything by saying it out loud, but there's a certain thing we've been complaining about with hearing each other that has not happened for a few minutes, so we'll just say that, okay? It hasn't happened to you, has it?
No.
Okay, good.
I thought you were going to say, like, what happens in the movie.
Oh, yeah, I didn't watch it. Is that okay? Dude, wouldn't that be amazing? After all the technical issues we just had, and you had all this bullshit happening on your computer and stuff that we couldn't figure out, we finally get it going through a different thing. And then I'm like, oh, shit, I forgot to watch this movie.
You go, wait, I've only seen it once, like,
right.
in 1998 when it came out.
Dude, when it hit video, that's when it... And I'll tell you, the only thing I remembered from the first viewing was that you get to see Sheryl Lee's butt. But I didn't even remember that it was Sheryl Lee because I saw that way before I was a Twin Peaks fan. Like 20 years before.
So you were kind of a fan of hers before you even knew it.
Yeah, I just like that butt. Good butt.
Nice boobs, too.
In my town called Joy Ranch. It was started by this woman, Joy, who really believes in the therapeutic power of horses, right? Equestrian therapy, basically. And I get that, riding horses, spending time with horses, they can be quiet, beautiful animals. I get that. It's a soulful thing. So she started this thing, Joy Ranch, and it's got like a old West Town vibe to it, but it's also completely handicap accessible.
Cool.
And her whole thing is allowing any children or adults of any abilities access to the therapeutic power of horses. So they have stuff to, like, if you're in a wheelchair, they can get you up there. You know what I mean? They have a lot of great programs for that. And so, it's a nonprofit. So she has this rendezvous thing is what it's called. That was yesterday. And it's like a little festival, the living history thing. And then it has a couple big country music concerts at night. So my role in it, I'm always the town crier, which means I go around with a megaphone and tell people when different events are going, like, hey, there's a magic show or whatever, For this year, I also did stand-up. Did not go well. It was okay. No. It was family-friendly. It just wasn't very well attended, and they were calling bingo in the next room, and it was one of those rooms that's only divided by a curtain.
Oh, no.
So it's like, I'd be talking and be like, so here's the deal with my kid, G27. Like, okay, cool. And, the big interstate near here is Interstate 29, I-29. And so at least one point, she interrupted me with I-29, and I just paused and said, what a great street. But, and that was okay, whatever. But so then after that, I was in the dunk tank, and people pay money to throw a ball and try and make you go in the water. And there was myself and another younger guy, compared to the other two people, who, I don't know why everybody knows him and liked him, but because I don't know who he is, but he seemed like a nice dude. And everybody there was so stoked to dunk this guy. So whatever, this guy Casey, I don't know. But then the other two people were South Dakota's Attorney General, Marty Jackley, and Chrissy Noem's husband, Brian. And so it was like me and like these big deal guys, and I was the only chubby guy. So when I got up there, I said, listen, everybody, I'm the only fat guy that's got to be up here. So if you want to see a big splash, now's your moment. No one else talks shit. I mean, those guys aren't comedians, right? But
Right.
some of them might not even be human. But just kidding. I mean, whatever. I'm not just kidding. we all know how I really feel about that guy's wife, but he seemed, for all intents and purposes, in our situation, to be a nice dude. You know what I mean? He joked around with me, so whatever. It's just too bad.
But you were the only one like taunting the kids trying to throw the ball. Like, you're gonna miss. I bet you're gonna miss.
Yeah, you know, like West Nile virus is bad here right now with the mosquitoes, right? So I'm like, hey, if we leave this water too long, it's gonna breed mosquitoes. Someone get me in there and ripple it. You know, stuff like that. I told this little girl, if you hit me, I'm gonna tell Santa. But then another girl, oh my God, this really young girl, like probably 4 or 5 or something, she didn't hit, you know, she couldn't hit it. She wasn't throwing the ball hard enough, you know. So her parents brought her up so she could hit the button, right? And right before she hits the button, I look at her and go, no! Like that. And I scared her, and she thought I was really mad at her. And I was like, oh my God, sweetheart. First of all, I've already been dunked like 14 times, so there's no way I could possibly be mad anymore.
Starting Halloween season off right.
I know, and I did.
Scaring the children.
But it wasn't like a fun scare. Like, she thought I was a mean guy. And it's like, no, it's all good. I'm sorry. I told her, I'm supposed to pretend to be mean up here. You know, like you said, talking shit to get people to throw the ball. So that I'm so sorry. But it's okay. Go ahead and dunk me. So I think she did. I can't remember. But it was a fun experience. And then it got so hot that I was like, can we go back in the dunk tank? You know? But here's the other weird thing. One other weird thing about this. So right after the dunk tank thing was a hot dog eating contest. And before you go write a comment, average Whitest Kids fan that's listening, hold on. So there was a hot dog eating contest, right? So after the dunk tank, the other 3 dudes I was with, this guy Casey and Brian Nome and our Attorney General Marty Jackley, they were in for both. Their representation, their people signed them up for both, right? So they had to get hustled over to the hot dog eating contest. And some lady's like, okay, let's go, Jeremy, to me. Because my friend Jeremy signed up for the hot dog eating contest. And we split it up, right? So I'm like, I'm not him. He's on his way. So he went and did the hot dog eating contest. And they like started the hot dog eating contest. And they were eating big, nice hot dogs, like the kind you get at a baseball game, right? And so not like little Nathan's ones or whatever. But also, after they'd started, the lady said, oh, I guess we'll only go for 5 minutes instead of 10. Like, that's fucked up, right? Like, after you've already started. So Jeremy won, because he was like, oh my God, so he just, like, shoved another one in his mouth. And one of the other guys, I think it was Brian Nome, was like, yeah, I put ketchup and mustard on mine. I'm like, okay, so you took the time to put condiments on? Like, that's what endeared him to me. I'm like, okay, he's like, that's a lovable, doofy thing to do. You know what I mean? Like, you're in a hot dog eating contest, you're still just going to act like you're just normally eating hot dogs, you know?
Like, I don't think you understand the concept.
Right. It was
Which
fun.
Makes me... that's probably why he is who he's with. He doesn't probably understand anything.
He still lives here, you know? So I don't know if they spend much time together. I want to be like, why? Like, dude, just file the papers today. Let's go get a beer, you know?
Like, do you hear anything she says when she leaves your home?
I know. He did seem like a genuinely good dude to me, but like, yeah, he's married to a horrible lady, so there's only so far you can go with that. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. And if he heard me say he's good, but I hate his wife, well, he probably would be a little disappointed, but I bet he's heard that a lot. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And, like, on my way out, I said, you know what's cool? Because this woman, Joy, who started this thing, everybody likes her. She's hilarious. She's obviously very kind. And she does shit like this. Like, obviously, she's busy yesterday, right? She's running this festival herself. So I went up and I was like, hey, can you come help me get my megaphone set up? And so she took the time to not only take me into the office and give me the right megaphone, then she took the time to take the megaphone, and while this office was full of people getting ready for this festival, she switched it to the whistle function. You know, a megaphone amplifies your voice, but they almost all also have an alarm on them, right? So while we're in this building, Joy takes this megaphone, switches it to the alarm, cranks the volume, goes, watch this, and it's like, like that, and everybody goes, holy fucking shit! And she's like, so she's like the best, is what I'm trying to say. She's great. Also, during the dunk tank, she came up and dumped trays of ice cubes into it. We were like, you little bastard. And then during the hot dog eating contest, she's like, I'm going to compete. And someone brought her a plate of like those little weenies, you know? Like those little cocktail weenies. Yeah, so
that's fucking funny.
Yeah, so she's great. Anyway, so I was leaving. I told Brian, I'm like, yeah, you know, it's cool that like everybody's on board with her, right? And he's like, yeah. And it's like in that moment we had a silent understanding, like, you know what it felt like? It felt like in some of those X-Men movies when or in the comics too, where like Professor X and Magneto team up for a little bit because there's a unifying cause. And then once they complete their goal, whatever it is, they're like, okay, well, we're going to go back to being enemies now. I think that's kind of what it was like, you know? And it just felt like in that moment that there's an understanding, like, he knows who I am. He's probably heard some of my opinions, you know? So, yeah, and whatever. But anyway, but it was fun, and being in a dunk tank is kind of fucking awesome. So, there you go. Well, you know, I talked months ago about how I do the polar plunge, right? Jump in the ice cold water for Special Olympics. This is way better than that because it was hot out yesterday.
Yeah, Timmy does a lot of stuff for charity because he's awesome.
Well, no, not a lot of stuff. I do stuff where I get dunked in water for charity. That's apparently all I do. But I'm saying that this was better than that because it was hot out yesterday. So getting dunked into water was like, oh, yeah, you know.
Yeah, but that felt great.
Yeah, well, let's get into it. So for September, we want to do vampire movies, and we picked two. The other movie, I think, is going to be way more enjoyable, but we picked two strange vampire movies, right? I mean, these are not usual vampire movies.
I forgot what the other one is.
The Nick Cage one.
Oh, yeah.
Kiss of the Vampire? Right?
Yeah. That one's so fucking funny.
Yeah, and but today, we're not talking about that. This one may also be so fucking funny, but not on purpose. This is John Carpenter's Vampires from 1998. I believe you could refer to this as his fallow period, because he made this after Escape from L.A., and I believe his next film was Ghosts of Mars. So
I was looking up because this is the first time I've seen this movie, and I'd never heard anybody have any rave reviews about it, but I was curious because it's John Carpenter.
Sure.
So I said, okay, so this came out in 98. What other vampires kind of came out around the same time? So you had like Blade came out the same year, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And then you had From Dusk Till Dawn, but that came out 2 years prior.
Right, which is why this movie exists, I think.
I think so too, but I mean, you can't touch that movie. It's just From Dusk Till Dawn is just fucking chef's kiss.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it's better than that because it's not. I'm saying the reason they made this movie is because it's a vampire movie in the desert, and Dusk Till Dawn was like kind of a bit of a pop culture thing that people liked, you know. So, and it's Mexico, right? They're both like Hispanic, Latino, you know, Mexico kind of area, right? So. I think that's why. But so Vampires, I didn't know this till I looked it up earlier today. It's based on a book.
Yeah, I saw that.
And here's a funny thing. So the main character in the book is Jack Crow. So in the movie, James Woods' character is Jack Crow. And the other main character is played by Daniel Baldwin. And in the movie, his last name is Montoya. And if you know what Daniel Baldwin or any Baldwin looks like, you would know that Montoya does not really fit any of those guys as a last name, right? And here's the deal. In the book, he has like a normal white guy name. It's like Calpin or something. You know what I mean?
Oh.
It's like not a clearly Latino last name like Montoya. So it's like, why did they make it Hispanic for a big dumb white guy? Like what? So, anyways. But it's a pretty easy to understand plot. There's a professional vampire hunters. They're working for the Vatican. And then they find out, like, Mr. Numero Uno, super big daddy vampire is around, and they want to kill him. And he's trying to, evil vampire boss is trying to do this ritual so that they can exist in the sunlight, right?
Yeah, they got to find the Black Cross.
The Black Cross. So Blade also has that for a plot. And it's so much better than this movie. But here's the deal. Okay, so this isn't just going to be a sling shit fest, because who really wants to see that or hear that? And like I always say, I don't believe in bad movies. So I think Vampires has a great premise. It has some great gimmicks. It's got an interesting hook. And I think there's two things that make it not work. Is the two lead actors are just fucking annoying. right? And then this like
I
fucking underlying misogyny in it is terrible and makes it kind of gross and creepy.
I actually like Montoya's character towards the end. I basically don't really like any of the characters for the
Right.
first half of the movie.
Right.
And gosh, that opening sequence is just fucking hilarious. Like,
Where they're hunting the guys?
yeah, because it seems like they don't know what they're fucking doing.
Yeah.
Like, they have no clue. It's like taking like your little league baseball team and being like, we're all vampire hunters now.
Yeah.
But they have like all this badass equipment and shit, but they don't know how to use any of it.
Yeah, the one guy's
No
like,
one's
"Oh,
been
what?"
trained.
Yeah, like that one dude's opening the door wrong, and like, dude, haven't these guys been doing this for a long time? You know, so,
Like when he stuck his hand through the doorknob to unlatch it, I bust out laughing.
yeah, because it took him for fucking ever. And apparently, it's the other guy's job normally, so it's like, well, then let him do it. If everybody's supposed to be, because you know, if it's supposed to be one of those kind of cool teams where every guy has a unique personality and a unique skill, well, then what the hell? And my big issue with the vampire hunting team at the beginning is that it is populated with really great that guy actors, really great character actors.
Yes. I went, oh, that guy.
And then they fucking kill all of them. In
All
like
of 'em.
15 minutes, they kill all of them except the two actors you least want to spend time with. Right? Because, okay, in the background there, you have, I mean, my two favorites. You've got Mark Boone Jr., who people will know as the corrupt detective from Batman Begins, but he's in a bunch of stuff. And then Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa is in there.
Mm-hmm.
And holy, you recognize him? You probably recognize him.
I did.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
he's amazing. He's in a lot of great stuff. And he's in all sorts of 90s movies. And I don't even think he fucking talks in this movie. I think he's like, says like, hey, baby, to a hooker at the party scene and kisses her or something. Like, I think that's about it. You don't even see him get killed. You just kind of see him get slapped down. It's like, yo, come on. Like, ah! You know, it just seems like from the get-go, they're like, here's the deal, guys. We're going to set up all these pins and never hit them. Just gutter ball it every fucking time. So, you know, because it's a fun premise, I think.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
I just was confused by a lot of it most of the time.
What confused you?
The whole damn thing, honestly.
Okay. But like, what kind of elements of it? Like, did the story confuse you?
It kind of reminded me of like when cowboys would scalp Indians and they
Yeah.
would take the scalps and exchange them for money.
Right.
So I thought, okay, because they were counting how many vampires they were killing. So I went, oh, so maybe they're like bounty hunters in a sense.
Yeah, they definitely made it sound like that because one guy said, yeah, we killed this many, so I think they were getting paid per kill.
Yeah, but it was like, okay, are they new to this? Because none of them have any fucking clue what the hell they're doing. They all are just like running around, running away, or waiting for somebody else to do something.
Yeah, they kind of
About
like
it.
immediately panic. It's weird.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Well, do you mean in the hunting scene or in the when they're at the party?
Both.
Okay,
The
yeah.
whole time.
So the party, it's more understandable because they're not expecting this badass, awesome vampire. And what he says later is that this guy had super strength and was doing all the stuff that vampires don't normally do. And they were drunk and partying and not expecting to be attacked. So that makes sense. But yes, the scene before that, the scene we open with, is them going into a house and fighting vampires. And they do have a method that works. But like before that, it's like, oh God, get him. It's like, why is this such a struggle? Like, don't these guys do this all the time?
And the main guy, and like Crow.
Jack Crow, vampire hunter.
Jack Crow. Was like
Yeah.
he seemed like he didn't really fucking know what he was doing either.
Right.
I'm like, aren't you the main guy? Like,
Yeah, and he reveals later that he first killed his first vampire, who was his father. When his father became a vampire, killed his mom, then he killed his father. So you've been supposedly killing vampires since you were a child.
yeah, his entire life has been doing this.
Yeah, it's just it's weird. And here's the thing though, is their gimmick is cool. Like you shoot them with an arrow that's attached to a steel cable. Then you have a Jeep out back with a winch, and they, rev up the winch and pull the vampires out of the sun and they explode. That's fun, That's cool.
That was fun. And then when she's holding onto the door, and so he like cuts her arm off, and her hand's still holding. Like that was cool.
Yeah, he shoots her hand off. I like that part. Yeah.
Yeah,
It-
that was
and
cool.
Yeah, but you're right. It seems like they don't have much of a playbook. They're like, all right, we have all this cool badass equipment. We know how to stand in a group really cool with the sun behind us. Before we go into the house, we know how to stand and look good.
They know how to party.
Yeah, and then they know how to party, but they don't know how to do the between stuff, which is their job.
Which I thought it was really funny that they're looking for the master, right? They don't find the master, but they decide to go down the road from where they just killed a whole bunch of his crew.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nighttime.
Yeah.
They didn't have any thought that, like, the guy's gonna come and retaliate?
Right. It's like, man, it doesn't matter. I know we haven't found the master yet, but this job's so hard on us. We really gotta let loose. We gotta bang a bunch of hookers and drink. It's like, you know what you guys should be doing? Fucking training. Or at least going over your method. Like, he's like, here, first we do this, then we do this. Because the idea here, and actually it gets done... It gets done better with, Blade, but way later in a movie called Day Shift, which went right to Netflix with Jamie Foxx. That does a great job of having, like, these are just guys doing a job. They just happen to be vampire hunters, you know? And this movie seems to want to have that, but then, yes, their job is very chaotic and not done well. And they spend way too much time, like, being cool. You know what I mean? It'd be more fun if they were a little bit more like, this is just a job. And it kind of starts that way, and then, you know, then they kill everybody. But... And what you said about like scalp hunters and stuff like that, this is one of many movies that John Carpenter kind of envisioned as a Western, then changed it into the genre the thing he wanted to make. Like, I've heard this several times, and he said it definitely for this one, that he kind of plans things out as a Western. Like, he sees it as a Western and then turns it into like a, you know, The Thing or vampires or whatever. You know what I mean?
Because they had a code as a team. They keep going. Remember, rule 1.
Yeah.
Never bury your. It was like, don't bury like your. What do they call each other? Like your brethren, your brothers.
Yeah, whatever they are. You know, at this point in movies, late 90s, there's a lot of stuff in this movie that's like, well, this is what movies are supposed to do right now. You know, so like. Having rules was always a big thing. I mean, Fight Club hadn't come out yet, but other movies were already doing the rules thing, you know. There's a point in this where the priest, the priest character goes, "Forgive me, God," before he kills a vampire. It's like, yeah, there's not really any reason for him to say that, because in this movie, the team is hired by the Vatican to kill vampires. So you would think that in this world, God's totally okay with you killing a vampire. Like... Because if the Pope hires you, right, the Vatican and the Pope is supposed to be the voice of God, okay? So if the Pope says, let's hire these guys to kill some motherfucking vampires, well, then that means God wants you to kill vampires. That's how you're supposed to take it if you're in that faith, right? So then this priest kills a vampire. He's like, forgive me, God. It's like, why?
When you said, like, this does have a good premise, I did like the fact of, like, when they explain that vampires were... accidentally caused by the Vatican and by the church because of reverse exorcism. I found that interesting. And that's why they've kind of kept it hidden and secret, because it's their fucking fault.
Yeah. Right, yeah. What I was getting at, though, is not about that. I was just saying, like, why does he say, God, forgive me? Because like you just said, they're supposed to be doing this. So why is he like, oh, no, I sinned? It's like, you didn't sin. You've been ordained by God to do this shit. You know? So.
Well, maybe it's like a double sorry. It's like a double sorry. Sorry, it's our fault that we created this. And also now sorry that we have to kill these people by this thing that we accidentally gave to them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. You know what? Now I'm wishing it was played by Greg Johnson. Sorry. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry, right? Can't you see Greg doing that? He does that in one of our sketches. So basically, yeah, they kill these vampires. They don't find the leader. So their reaction is to go get wasted and bang a bunch of hookers loudly. They take over like an entire motel. So they're easy to find. And so guess what happens? The master, who has been burying himself, which I think is a clever thing. I like that the vampires bury themselves in the dirt when they can't do anything else, you know?
That was really cool.
Yeah, the way he wakes up, like, wow, yeah. That's the thing, is this movie has stuff that's cool, but, like, when you put it all together, it's not cool. You know? But, so, yeah, the master goes to their house, and, first what he does is, so James Woods' character Jack Crow. He decides to fuck a hooker who is Cheryl Lee, who played most famously, she was Laura Palmer in Twin Peaks. And so he takes her to her room, and then he has to go do something. I forget why he leaves her alone. But he leaves her alone, and while she's in there, the master vampire sneaks in and bites her on the thigh, which I thought that was an interesting touch, too. Make it even more sexual than vampirism already is, you know?
Yeah, and she basically had a fucking orgasm.
Yeah.
He's like, it's going to be the best thing you've ever had.
Yeah. And it kind of is, it looks like. And right then I'm like, oh, that's why they hired her. Because, like, at that point, and then several more times throughout the movie, Cheryl Lee does this great, you know, she's the best actor in the movie by a country mile.
Yep.
And she does this great thing where she's, like, scared and then, like, confused and then loving it and, like, kind of looks crazy at a few points. And in Twin Peaks, especially Fire Walk With Me, she does that, like, you know, her character Laura Palmer is a drug addict and getting tortured and raped by a demon and her dad and all this horrible stuff's happening to her. So she does that a lot, you know? And so she's good at that kind of, like, switching up the emotions. And, yeah, so she's getting something happen to her. And then, like, the next time you see the master vampire is he goes in at the motel and just fucking kills everybody without even much of a problem.
And I love he just opens the front door. And that first kill is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, he splits the guy in half. Yeah.
Yeah, with a fucking hand. It looked really cool.
It did look cool. So they kill that guy. That's one of the two actors I was excited to see in the movie. That was Mark Boone Jr.'s character. So he gets killed.
Oh, he's gone.
And I wrote down in my notes, I'm like, he's killing all of that guys. You know?
They haven't even
So
been on
just
screen 20, what? It was like 20
No,
minutes
like
in.
not even 10. Hardly even
Yeah,
10. I think
and
it was
then-
like 18 minutes total, you know? Good
And they're
God.
all gone.
And then they're all gone. And like, Jack Crow was gone. Where was he? Because he wasn't in the room with Cheryl Lee's character. Where was he?
I think he went outside for some reason.
Yeah, he was doing something. I
I
forget.
don't remember.
I don't know. He was doing some stuff.
I don't know.
He was like doing so. You know that Jack Crow? He's always doing stuff. But so he comes in, and only him and Montoya make it out, and they have Cheryl Lee's character, the prostitute, with them, who he affectionately calls later some hooker. Jesus Christ. So they're pulling. They get her out of the hotel. Okay, great. And like they're like slapping her around and shit immediately because they're like, "You're gonna turn," and it's like, what'd you think about all that?
So probably what I should have said at the beginning of recording this episode is like why I wanted to do vampire movies for this month. It's because I like to find out what somebody's idea of a vampire is in terms of like, can they walk in the sun? Like in this movie, it's like you don't know when they're going to turn. Sometimes they have to be turned by a vampire.
Yeah.
People say like the vampire has to take you and bury you with them, and like after they've bitten you, and then you have to drink their blood, and that's how you're going to get turned. And it's interesting to me to see people's takes on what they think happens to you, on how you become a vampire, or like just what the state of a vampire is. It's very intriguing to me. So in this, it's like, okay, she got bit, and I'm saying this because I want to ask you a question about what you think.
Yeah.
So she gets bit in the leg after she gets some hot fucking vampire cunnilingus.
Yeah, he definitely eats her out. Yeah.
Yeah. Hot. And then so she's all kind of woozy, like she's fucking drunk as shit, or like she's been drugged. So James is like, you take her to the Plaza Hotel.
Yeah.
Like, just take her there, and I'm going to stay back and take care of all the bodies of all of our friends.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that by yourself. He's like, fuck you, I'm doing it by myself.
Yeah.
Okay. So she got bit, right? So they're like, she's definitely going to turn. But they're going to use her for a purpose because now she's like connected to the vampire or whatever.
For 48 hours or something.
Yeah. Okay, so he goes back. He goes back. And he puts a stake through all of their hearts and then cuts off their heads and only buries their heads. So
yeah,
I didn't see any of them get bit by him. I saw them get like thrown and slashed. So are they still going to turn into vampires?
I don't know,
I was so confused.
I don't know. Well, here's the thing is there's no answer. That's just what they did. You know what I mean? And the only, like, there's no, I can't give you an answer, but the only suggestion I would have is maybe because he's figuring out this is the master and this is maybe the master of masters. Like, this is a number one vampire, which is what they figure out later.
But Timmy, he set the whole damn motel on fire.
Yeah.
I was just like, what is going on? Why didn't you just burn the entire body? Why did you take all that time? So confused. But you had, well, I guess because you had to have the famous like walking away from an explosion shot, I guess.
Yes.
But
yeah. Okay, so I don't want to spend this whole episode just being like, oh God, this movie's confusing. I think there's other things to talk about. Because, like, I mean, let's talk about the actual movie itself, not worry about the story, because, I mean, who cares? That's kind of all there. But so, like, okay. What did you think of James Woods as a lead actor?
I didn't like him at all.
Yeah.
I actually gravitated towards Mr. Balran.
Who?
I can't think of any of the Baldwins without thinking about how they say Baldwin on South Park.
Oh, is that what that is? I have not watched very much South Park. Okay.
Balran.
Okay. So this is Daniel Baldwin.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I liked him in this a lot, actually. Especially towards the end.
Yeah. When he magically falls in love with her. Because, if you bind a woman naked onto a bed and then creepily slither all over her while supposedly trying to comfort her, that's how you fall in love. Right? So.
Well, he did explain to her. She's like, well, did you have to take all my clothes off? He's like, well, I took your clothes off. I cleaned you up and I saved your ass.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that was my first thought when I saw her naked. Well, that was my like second thought. My first thought was, ooh.
Yeah.
And then my second thought was, did you have to get her fucking completely naked?
Yeah, yeah. And I still don't buy the whole, like, it still, again, was a little confusing, but there's just a lot of, like, and even after that, everyone else except him was, like, calling her a bitch. But even before that, he was calling her a bitch, and they're slapping her around and shit. It's just like, okay. Like, this woman is a victim, and she hasn't even turned yet. So they're just, but I do understand why you like him later when obviously he's got to get bit, folks. Come on. Also, if you haven't seen this movie, just listen to this instead. But anyway, so, but so he gets bit and he's turning, and so it's kind of becomes like these two are in love and whatever. And, yeah, he is more likable than James Woods, but so are a lot of things. And, I was like on team Cheryl Lee, and then I really liked a little bit later they get this young priest to join with him, and I thought that guy was pretty good.
Yeah, he was good too.
Yeah,
and I went, man, I wish he would have been in this more.
I wish he was the main character.
Yeah.
That's a way better idea.
Yep.
And did you know?
1,000%.
Yeah. In the original book, there's something to do with the Pope, and actually Jack Crow becomes a vampire in that one. But so there was a script for this at some point where it's all in the Vatican and the lead vampire is the Pope. And I'm like, that is so much cooler.
What?
I know.
Why didn't we make this movie?
Well, probably money. It's a lot more budget, I'm sure, to shoot. Well, you can't shoot in the Vatican, probably, but it's a lot more money to even make something else look like the Vatican than a shack in the desert, Also, there's a whole Dusk Till Dawn angle. Like you said, Dusk Till Dawn had come out. And I think it was a decent hit, but it was also very cool. People just liked it, And so everybody was chasing that aesthetic. Just like when Pulp Fiction came out years before that, everybody tried to do a Pulp Fiction movie, So.
Yeah.
So that's why. But man, I know it's such a cooler idea. And it's like, Carpenter's still alive, but he's like, I don't want to make movies anymore. I want to get high and play video games. Like, he's pretty much said that several times. And I get it.
Well.
Those things are fun. But I don't know. But so, yeah, I mean, obviously that was one of my big problems with it. It just felt unnecessarily mean towards the woman character. And then, yes, he is sweet to her after he explains it, but it's still then you got James Woods being a dick to her. And then, like, Daniel Baldwin gets mad at James Woods' character for being a dick to her. He's like, what's wrong with you? It's like, excuse me, you guys were all like this to her until you decided you fell in love with her because you like the way she looks with duct tape around her mouth. You know? So,
well, now that she's bitten you, and you're keeping it a fucking secret from your best friend, which is, I'm sorry, you probably know the story about his father keeping it a fucking secret from him and his mom.
Yeah.
So, hello.
But I agree with you. I like, different movies having different vampire lore, as long as they really sell it. And this one, they don't do too bad a job with that, at making it feel like this is a lived-in world. But but on the flip side of that, it's like, well, yeah, I like the world this takes place in. I just don't like these characters, and I wish the story was a little cooler, you know? Because, I like the priest. I like all the gadgets. I like the whole vampire cunnilingus thing. I like the whole, we're going to try and make it so we're immune to the sun. I like all that stuff.
Like I said earlier, I loved that it's the fucking church's fault.
Yeah.
But I didn't like that we didn't even find out until, more than halfway of the movie, until, you find out that Mr. Crow...
Jack Crow, vampire hunter. Yeah.
That's what I was waiting for.
Jack Crow, vampire hunter. Yeah. About his parents.
I think he just renamed the movie, Timmy.
It should be called that. Well, they should redo this and not let James Woods anywhere near it. And no fucking Baldwins either, please.
Well, they can be in it, but they're going to be the ones that get killed within the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. And your two lead vampire hunters of the remake are Mark Boone Jr. and Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa. He can play Jack Crow.
Yeah, there you go. Well,
even though he's 80 now, but he could still kick some ass.
Who cares?
I think Mark Boone Jr. might be dead, actually, but they'd still be better. They'd still be better than these fucking guys. No, he's still alive.
Is he? Okay.
Okay, good.
Halfway through the movies, when you find out that basically he's been, this is what he does.
Yeah.
And he's done his, almost his entire life, is he's a fucking vampire hunter. And I went, well, you could have fucking fooled me for the first fucking half hour of this movie. What the fuck are you talking about? And then he's like, well, you got to get another team because you can't. This is the one vampire. And the picture of the master vampire.
Yeah, that's really funny.
Laugh.
I wrote that too. That picture they show in the ancient holy book that's from 1300 something. Yeah, it's
so funny.
There's a lot of other things I want to hit here. You keep talking about how incompetent they are, and I agree. And all the first scene is missing is for some guy to be like, "Oh my god, vampires!" You know what I mean? It's I almost expected them to be like, "Holy shit, did you see that, guys? It's a vampire. What are they doing here?"
It was like if the fucking Three Stooges wwere fucking vampire hunters.
Only there were 7 of them, and they posed in leather jackets before they did anything. Yeah. Because they spent a lot of time showing these guys suit up, too.
I know, and I went, oh, this is going to be badass. His fucking bow and arrow was really fucking cool.
At least he used that.
Yeah, he used it. That's the only way to kill him was what? Just stake him through the heart or shoot him in the head, I guess, in this movie. If you shot him in the head, they also died. Yeah. But they were shooting a lot of bullets in these guys, and he was like, don't forget, the only way you can do it is a stake. I'm like, so why don't we have wooden bullets? If you've done this your entire career, we haven't upgraded to anything. Right. We haven't learned anything about how to kill these fucking guys.
Something that shoots wood. Yeah. Again, in Blade, they have specialized weapons like that. And in this movie, they say garlic doesn't hurt vampires, crosses don't hurt them. Okay, fine. But you could have done silver, and in fact, the book this is based on is when they find out silver kills vampires. So that would have been a cool angle to throw in here. But yeah, there's several scenes, even towards the end, after all this stuff has happened, Daniel Baldwin's still just shooting an MP5 machine gun at these things. And it's like, okay, well, you're knocking them back, but that's it. So it's just kind of silly. And a lot of it just feels like they didn't think it through. But so they tried to get this movie made for a while. The book came out in 1992. And so there were several directors that were interested. Sam Raimi, Peter Jackson, Ron Underwood. They were going to get Russell Mulcahy to do it. Russell Mulcahy also directed Highlander and a couple other good movies, I forget. But so when Russell Mulcahy was attached, do you know who was going to play Jack Crow, Vampire Hunter?
Mm-mm. Who?
Dolph Lundgren.
What?
I mourn and I grieve for the loss of that movie. Right? Because James Woods sucks. Dolph Lundgren is awesome. Also, if you're going to have an action movie, well, instead of a little weenie guy who looks like your uncle who smokes too much, that's what James Woods looks like, right? Why don't you have a fucking action figure doing all this stuff? Dolph Lundgren, right?
Yeah.
And also, apparently, at that point, Willem Dafoe was maybe going to play a character, too. Like, early 90s.
Fuck?
Yeah. Early 90s cool Willem Dafoe when he was only doing well, he always does weird shit, but like he had just done like Wild at Heart for David Lynch and stuff like that, you know, like that would have been cool. And shit, I mean, at that point they probably would have thrown Dennis Hopper in there somewhere too. You know, just get it. If you're already doing Willem Dafoe, get the other crazy asshole, put him in there too, you know? So
Yeah, I mean, have him in a cowboy hat again, you know.
Yeah, why not?
He could have
Oh yeah, he was in the last movie we watched. That's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, there's just, and the thing is I love John Carpenter, but so he, you know, after Escape from L.A., which I've never even seen. Have you ever seen Escape from L.A.?
I've only seen it once. It's been a while.
Okay. It didn't seem good to me, but so John Carpenter after that was like, I didn't really feel like making movies anymore.
I can get that vibe.
Right. Yeah, and then he made this. So then he made this right after, like, as just kind of a, you know.
I will say there were a couple of shots and a couple moments where I went, John Carpenter. Like, that's very John Carpenter. Yeah. Like, with the colors, and there was some kind of, like, wide shots that were really cool. And I went, why isn't the whole movie like this? Why? Yeah. It really gives you that sense of, I just really don't want to be here. I don't want to do this anymore, but I'm getting paid, so we gotta fucking put something out.
Yeah.
Which is really sad because, as like you say, there aren't really any bad movies. It takes a lot to get a movie made.
Yeah, it does. It's sad to see someone phone it in when you know they're really good and this cost a lot, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, it's too bad. But I'll tell you where he didn't phone it in, though, was the score. Because the score is immediately, here's John Carpenter with a little more of a Western tinge to it. It's got some like kind of twang kind of guitars and stuff. But the score's good.
It is really good. That's why I went like, what's going on here?
Yeah, like there's parts of it that are awesome in him and there's parts that aren't. And one of the notes I wrote was like, if he had made this in the 80s during his like string of just like fucking home run after home run, you know, Halloween, Escape from New York, The Thing, They Live, boom, 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 boom. Like, if he had made vampires in there, shit. Like, 80s John Carpenter would have made this great.
I also wonder if he would have been the one adapting the screenplay.
Yeah, that probably would have helped.
Because also, it makes me wonder if he's, like, reading the screenplay and he's just like, God, this sucks, but fuck, like, gotta do it.
I kind of doubt the screenplay would suck very much. Because like I said, I like the basic story. It's just that, you know what? A lot of it for me is just, God, James Woods just never looks right in this. He just never looks like he should be there. He's like a dad in jeans with his like fucking t-shirt tucked into his jeans. And then he's doing action scenes. It's like, I don't believe any of this crap.
I only believed him in one scene. And only scene.
What scene?
When he's in the bathroom with Padre.
Yeah.
And he is like, you know that I killed my dad. You think I won't fucking kill you? I'll fucking stab your ass.
Yeah.
I went, why isn't it like this the whole time?
Yeah,
there were moments of that where I went, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
Where's this been?
Yeah. That's a good performance in that scene, you know? And the rest, and even if you could call the rest a good performance, I just don't like James Woods, and I don't think he's that likable of an existence, and I don't, and I'm trying to, when I watch him in a movie now, I try and not think about him in real life, because he, like, super sucks now as a person, you know? But, did you know about that? He's like a MAGA chud for sure.
Ugh, he's a fucking Nazi? Gross.
Yeah, so, like, you remember about, I don't know, 9-10 years ago, they were taking down the Confederate statues in different parts of the South. So he tweeted a picture of the Iwo Jima statue, you know, the World War II soldiers holding up the flag, you know? Mm-hmm. He's like, well, since now the liberals are taking down all the statues, I thought I'd post this one more time before they take it. Which is like, just obviously a complete straw man, non sequitur, has nothing to do with any of that shit. It was ridiculous for a lot of reasons. They're two completely different things. And if you don't know, the Confederate statues that they were all upset about tearing down like 10 years ago, most of those were made like in the 1920s and 30s, many, many years after the end of the Civil War, many, many years after slavery ended. And they did that because there were black communities where these people were finally getting on their feet and becoming successful and owning businesses and having their own neighborhoods and stuff like that. So they were like putting these statues of Confederate generals around to like intimidate black communities.
Yeah, how can we poke at them at their success? Like, how can we try to bring them down and like remind them that, we used to fucking own them? And
right.
It's just fucking disgusting.
Yeah, it sucks. So they're taking him down. So then James Woods puts his post out suggesting that now people are going to want the Iwo Jima statue to come down. It's like, well, hold the fucking phone. This statue is memorializing soldiers who died in the one war most people can still agree on. You know what I mean? Like, killing Nazis. Okay, there's people out there that don't agree with killing Nazis anymore. But anyways, that's a completely different thing. And so when he tweeted that, a lot of people, myself included, found pictures of dumb statues and just retweeted them, tagging James Woods with the same thing he said. So, for example, I tweeted a statue I found of two bunnies fucking, and it said, like, well, before the left takes the statue, I want everyone to enjoy it one last time. Stuff like that. So that's awesome. What he's become now. He's a fucking joke, but, that's what they want to do. Is they want to always be victims, right? And I thought it was funny that at the end of this movie, he does get crucified. Because I'm sure current James Woods would be like, yeah. Because current James Woods thinks that's happening to him and all the MAGA people all the time, right? Like, oh, we're being, you know what I mean? Like, we're being victimized and stuff.
There was like a guy that's in D.C. right now wearing a mask, and he does jokes, but he was talking about... Like, I think everybody forgot that politicians used to go to war. They used to pick up a sword, and now they don't do anything. And he was like, imagine Biden on a horse.
Or our current president.
We can take it back to the movie, because you mentioned that Mr. Crow
Jack Crow, vampire hunter.
Mm-hmm. How many times have you said that?
Probably 10, and it's not going to go away anytime soon.
That would have been cool to have another person of his supposed caliber.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I need help. Okay, we're sending so-and-so from so-and-so district over to fucking help you with this guy. Because since it's the master main fucking dude, why don't we call in all of our troops in?
Well, we also kind of find out why, though, because the Cardinal is in on the whole damn thing, so he's not going to budge too much.
It didn't even occur to me that was going to happen. And when he appeared during the fucking exorcism, I went, oh, of course it's somebody close to you. Because isn't it always somebody fucking close to you that fucking fucks you over?
Right, but they also hinted at that throughout the movie. Because when they first meet the master, he already knows Jack Crow, vampire hunter's name. So they knew someone was feeding him info. So at some point, you're going to find out who it is. I was hoping it'd be Daniel Baldwin, but no.
That's what I thought too, and I was like, is that why he's keeping the shit from him?
Yeah.
That's who I thought it was going to be. So I was kind of shocked that it was the fucking...
Well, like I said, in the original book and in some of the other screenplays, it was evil priests, so I guess they were still trying to have that angle to it, Yeah, but anyways, James Woods, I just find his presence unlikable. And so he works great in films where his character's unlikable, like the movie Casino. He plays some main character's wife's boyfriend, right? Like that she's cheating on them with James Woods. And so then the mafia guys like beat him up. That's great. That's a great James Woods role. Right? Beat his ass. Or in that movie in the 80s, he and Michael J. Fox did a movie, and he's all right in that movie, But when you pose him as the hero, he just doesn't look like a hero. Do you know what I mean?
I just got super creep vibes.
Yeah, just weird. And, like I said, he's mean to the woman the whole time, even after Daniel Baldwin kind of changes his tune a little bit, but... I just don't buy it. And then, it didn't help that halfway through the movie, I went to the bathroom, Googled the movie, found out Dolph Lundgren could have been this. I'm like, well, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, oh, man.
God damn it. What
I
was
know.
James? What other movies was James Wood doing during this time? I didn't even look it up.
Like around this time in his career.
Yeah. Had he done anything in a while?
Yeah. Casino was right before this. Casino was 95. He was in
Oh, that
Nixon,
is right
Ghost of
before this.
Mississippi. He was a bad guy in Hercules. He was in Contact. So yeah, he was working a lot at this point.
Okay.
You know, he was in a ton of films. So he was still like a big deal. I just never quite understood. You know, so. And of course now he's one of those guys too, the mega dudes that they're like, oh, they don't put me in movies anymore because of my politics. Oh, they don't put you in movies anymore because you look like a worm, in sunglasses. It's you know. Oh, you know what I also wrote? I said if this had been made when they first started to in 1992, oh, it would have been like Michael Douglas and Alec Baldwin as the two characters, right? God.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, and no, I didn't read anywhere. No one ever mentioned those two guys, but I'm just saying, like, if they had made this movie earlier, you probably could have gotten a little bit cooler dudes. Because, I mean, the Baldwins. I mean, so you thought you liked Daniel Baldwin's chutzpah in this movie?
I did. He grew on me. Like,
Yeah.
the farther the movie got along, his character really, really grew on me, and I detested James Wood more and more.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with that. And I didn't like
Yeah.
either one of them, but I definitely disliked him less as the movie went on. But, oh my God, the Baldwins. Okay, so I just wrote about this in a review of the movie Sliver, which is a Sharon Stone erotic thriller that, you know how it is, just like how Dusk Till Dawn is a big hit. Okay, let's make vampire movies. Well, you know, Basic Instinct is a big hit. Let's make Sharon Stone fucks people movies. So Sliver is an erotic thriller, and Sharon Stone's the main character. And the other main character is William Baldwin, and he has sex with her, right? Also in the 90s, Stephen Baldwin made a film called Fair Game where he hooks up with Cindy Crawford. Alec Baldwin was, of course, married in real life to Kim Basinger, and in the movie The Getaway, they have like a hot sex scene. And so here you've got Daniel Baldwin. He doesn't have sex with Cheryl Lee, but he still gets to make out with her and like touch her butt and stuff. And it's like, why was this a rule of the 90s that the Baldwins get to like sleep with the hottest women in Hollywood? Like what?
How many are there?
I don't even know. I only know those four. I briefly flirted with working with William Baldwin once. A friend and I wrote a script that we wanted him to be in, but it was kind of a parody of Alec Baldwin's character from 30 Rock, so he didn't like that we were doing that. He was going to be the manager of a public access station where I was a security guard.
It creeps me out just how much alike they all
Yeah.
look. Just like the Culkin brothers.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it freaks me the fuck out because they're not twins,
Right.
but they look like they fucking are.
Yeah. The thing is so I think Stephen Baldwin looks different from the rest of them. You know,
A little bit.
a little bit enough to be like that's a different person. But Billy and Daniel just look like, oh, someone spit in the egg before we made Alec Baldwin. That's terrible to say, but whatever.
Oh, jeez.
I guess if I had to pick a Baldwin now, I don't know much about Daniel. I'd probably go with Daniel. He's probably the coolest Baldwin now.
I didn't even know there was a Daniel Baldwin. So
Well, and I think that's probably the curse of his acting career. It's like, I mean, if you're him or Billy, because Steven got famous enough, like that movie Fair Game, Usual Suspects, and a couple other things. Like, okay, people knew who Stephen Baldwin was. Everybody knows who Alec Baldwin is. Okay, no problem. But these other two guys who both look like their brother Alec, like, they've never broken through that membrane of recognition, so people like know who they are, right? And it's like they're just some fucking Baldwins, you know.
Yeah, when the credits were on in the beginning, I went, "Oh, there's a Baldwin in it? Which
Yeah.
one is that?
Yeah.
Never heard of that guy."
And then you see him, you're like, well, that's the Baldwin.
I'm like, "Oh, it looks just like the rest of them. What the fuck?"
Yeah, I think Daniel and William Baldwin, Billy Baldwin, are they're normally kept in a glass case with a little hammer hanging next to it that says, "In case Alec is unavailable, break glass." I think is what.
Which one was in Biodome?
That's Steven.
That's Steven. I love
Yeah.
that movie, by the way.
The Weasel.
The Weasel.
Well, wait, he wasn't the Weasel in that movie. That was Encino Man, but anyways. Brendan Fraser, there's another actor I would have watched instead of James Woods. Just about anybody. Could have been Red Fox.
Literally just put him in the background in a scene and choose anyone else that's on
Yeah.
the cast.
You might not have heard me. I just said, just off the top of my head, Red Fox. Like, okay, now I'm thinking they should have made that. Oh, what's this, a vampire? Oh, go give me my gun. You know, that'd be great. Was he still alive then? I think he was still alive then.
Oh, man, that'd been awesome. Oh,
anyways, they should keep his name if they put him in, and then it'd be Red Fox, Vampire Hunter. Right? Be great.
There was potential here, and they missed it on every fucking mark, except for Cheryl. Her and the end of this movie.
Yeah.
Like when she's sitting in the fucking Jeep and there's the close-ups of her.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I was like, she's literally saved this movie for me because I'm not going to lie. There was a moment where I almost texted you and was like, do we really want to talk about this movie? Because what the fuck is going, like, what are we even going to talk about? Like, but then when it kept moving along and kind of built up some speed a little bit, and things got a tad bit more interesting, and she started getting more and more towards turning, I finally started paying more attention, and I was like, all right, okay, I get it.
Yeah, we can handle it.
Yeah, we can talk about this.
But Cheryl Lee, she's a very good actress, and in this movie, she's like, it's a vampire movie. She probably did it because she probably wanted to work with John Carpenter. She'd already worked with one amazing director a bunch, and she wanted to work with John Carpenter. But, you know, so like, in those scenes you talked about where they cut to her in the car, like she's like shaking and stuff and freaking out, and she's just, she's tapping into that Laura Palmer thing again and just doing a very, very, very good job at it. Man, I love it, you know?
That scene of her walking with all the blood on her, like, from her mouth down her fucking shirt. Like, yeah, man.
You mean at the end when she's, like, full vampire at the end?
Yeah, she looks so cool.
Yeah, she looks, like, hot and, like, into it, right? She's been kind of sick and weird this whole movie, but now she's fully vampire, and she's, like, smiling like, I'm a vampire now, bitches,
man,
you know?
I wish she would have been the main vampire's fucking partner.
Or just the main vampire.
Yeah, and just been in the whole movie like that. That would have been fucking dope.
Yeah. She's really good in this movie, even though she didn't need to be. But also, like, when you put a really good actress in between James Woods and A. Baldwin, it only makes you shine brighter. By the way, and I know I did this one other time, I can't remember which film, but I watched the movie right before we started. And I always just quick put it on my letterbox to just say, hey, I watched this for the next episode of Earnful of Popcorn. And there was another movie, I forget, where Allegra G commented, and I got it right away, so we talked about it in the episode. Well, today she says, I'm so hoping that you and Shandy don't hold back on what a prick James Woods is.
Yeah.
Well, Allegra, if you're listening, I hope we nailed it for you. We're not done yet anyways, so don't worry about it. I mean, he is, in a way, he's a good actor. I just don't think he was right for this, and I'm not quite sure what Big JC, not that one, John Carpenter, was thinking. I definitely understand wanting to put a Baldwin in your movie. Yeah, why not? And then all the other guys in his movie are in there because it's John Carpenter. He's put all those guys in other movies, I think. So, you know. Yeah.
What I will say is it just made me think of just how much I fucking hate the church.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Okay, so this thing was created by accident, right? And you know how it was created. So we are not spending time trying to figure out how to like reverse the reverse of the exorcism. We're just going to keep it a secret that there's a fucking black cross, and just like we do pedophiles in the church, we're just going to take the cross around everywhere, but we're going to let it exist. We haven't set it on fire or anything.
Right.
You know you have a thing that can make the thing that you made become worse than it is, but yet you're still keeping it in the church.
Yeah.
But just sending it all around the place.
So John Carpenter has always had a little subversiveness in all of his movies, and a little more outward and stuff like They Live is clearly like capitalism is fucking everybody over. But so I would not be surprised if that angle of the Catholic Church not actually solve their problem and just sweeping it under the rug, that might have even drawn him to it, or it might have been something he wanted to say about it, you know, because even in 1998, it was already still becoming pretty well known that the Catholic Church was hiding pedophiles. So here's the deal. I don't know
Okay.
if I want to watch this movie again. I like the ideas,
No.
though. So, well, hold on. So let me finish. So, like, I know you don't like it. We just spent an hour saying that. But what I'm getting at is there's 2 direct-to-video sequels. Now, I'm interested in watching those because I'm pretty sure they don't involve James Woods. And if they're still taking place in this world, which I liked, I would spend more time. Holy fucking shit. Do you know who the star of the second Vampires movie is?
You're looking it up. Who is it?
Yeah. Okay. So Vampires hit theaters. Then, like I just said, they made 2 direct-to-video sequels. The first one came out in 2002. It's called Vampires Los Muertos, starring John Bon Jovi as a vampire hunter. Oh my God, and his name in it. Okay, are you ready, Shandy? I'm going to let you... okay, I know that you're currently having some sort of conniption because of what I just told you, but hold on. So now I'm going to tell you his character's name, right? And he is a vampire hunter. So, starring John Bon Jovi as Derek Bliss, vampire hunter. Derek Bliss. Okay, now I got to find out who's in the third one. Okay,
Derek.
so, yeah.
Yo, DB.
Yo, DB. Okay, the star of the third one is Colin Egglesfield. He's just a handsome guy that was on TV a lot. I don't really know who that is. Okay. Outlaw Vern, that writer I like that I mention all the time. So I can't remember if he's reviewed the sequels to Vampires, but there were a number of direct-to-video sequels to Dusk Till Dawn, and Outlaw Vern reviewed those and said, like, these are some of the best direct-to-video sequels I've seen, So, because, most of the time, I don't know about you, but like in the 90s and early 2000s, when I was in a video store and I saw a direct-to-video sequel to a movie, how I envisioned the production was just like, you know what I mean? Just like farting it out into a box and putting it on the shelf.
Yeah,
right?
pretty much.
But that's not always the case. And so I kind of wonder, I mean, listen, I will eventually watch John Bon Jovi kill vampires. Given the life path that I'm on, like that's something I'm supposed to do at some point, right?
Hold on a second. I need to see a picture of him in this movie real quick.
All I can see is the video. All I saw was a video cover, which is it's John Bon Jovi in a trench coat. So it's not really that exciting.
Bon Jovi Vampire Hunter. Wait.
I wish that's what the movie was called.
Oh, shut up with the cover. Oh. He's wearing an army shirt and the fucking... Shut up.
You see this picture of him with a yellow shirt and a gun and sunglasses? It's pretty...
What is this? Yeah, the sunglasses with the yellow shirt unbuttoned and he's got a gun? Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, and then you look down from that, there's one where he's got the shirt unbuttoned with no jacket.
Dude, this photo, he looks pretty fucking badass, though. He's like... He's got his leg up, his arms on his leg, and he's holding the gun down. But he's got like the gun holster. He looks good.
He has a good look to him. You know what? And I haven't seen this movie. I could be totally wrong. But at least John Bon Jovi looks more like a guy you want to watch do this shit than James Woods. You know what I mean? I'd like to watch John Bon Jovi run around and do this. I don't really care to see James Woods do things. But you know it's a good vampire horror movie puts the name right in there in the title is
good.
Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. That movie's actually pretty good.
That movie is awesome.
Oh, you like it? Okay, good. Yeah.
Yes.
I think I read the book and then watched it, and I enjoyed it.
I enjoy that film a shit ton.
Yo, she likes it so much she called it a film, you guys. Not a movie. This is a fucking film. This is important. This is art.
What I haven't asked you too is like, okay, we watched this because I was curious about it. I had never seen it. Mm-hmm. You'd seen it, I think you said once before.
Like right after it hit video, so like 1998 or 9 probably. You know?
Okay, so what is your favorite vampire movie?
Oh man.
Do you have one or do you have like a couple?
I probably have a couple.
That you like a lot.
I mean, just off the top of my head, ones that I really like. We've already mentioned Blade. I like Blade. Near Dark is one I've seen a few times lately. That's awesome. And you know what I wrote down here? Because Near Dark's another neo-Western vampire story. They're out in the desert. You know, it's got a Western vibe to it. And so I was thinking you could do another sequel called Vampires versus Near Dark, Bloodlines. You know what I said? Like my second note? Shitbags the movie. Just based on how those two main characters is basically. Because they also both look like bad dads. Like, right? Like they're like shitty alcoholic fathers. Their wives moved out, took the family. So they're like, fuck it, I'll kill vampires.
James Woods' character should have had a fucking cool ass cowboy hat. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, come on, man. Okay, so I said Near Dark and Blade, and then I'll go back to the 50s and grab an old school one, and I'll say The Horror of Dracula. That was a remake of the original story with Peter Cushing as Dr. Van Helsing and Christopher, I think his middle name is Christopher Motherfucking Lee as Dracula. And that's a great Dracula story.
Sure fucking is.
I like that one. So what's your favorite vampire movie?
Well, mine is the black and white Nosferatu.
Oh, I've never seen it. Isn't that crazy?
You'll love it, Timmy.
Yeah,
it is
I gotta watch
so beautiful. Watch that for Halloween this year.
Oh, that's a good idea. You're talking about the 1920 whatever silent movie.
Yeah,
right?
the silent one. Watch it when it gets cold out.
Ooh, okay.
Put something in the crock pot.
Done.
Get a little bit, some good whiskey. Watch it. You'll love it. It's so beautiful.
I like that prescription, Dr. Sullivan.
You got it. I know what to prescribe.
Hey-o, the doctor is in. Shandy Sullivan, movie doctor. Or movie watching doctor, I guess is what that is.
Yeah.
Anyways, what's a more modern favorite vampire movie?
So then we got Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh yeah, never seen that either.
You've never, so you don't know
know.
what people mean when they go, I have crossed oceans of time.
Well, I know.
You.
You know what I mean? It's one of those things you just know about if you like movies, but I've never seen it.
You would love it. It's so good.
You didn't quite do this, but let me point here in the Urn Full of Popcorn headquarters, we do have a crocheted little needlepoint sign hung up on the wall that my mom made that says, don't movie shame. So, remember, if one of us hasn't seen a movie, it's okay. It just means now there's a movie to look forward to, right? I hate it when people and you didn't. By the way, you did not do that to me just now. I didn't felt movie shamed at all. But people do that, I fucking hate that.
I don't know why people shame people. I get more excited that you haven't seen
too.
something, which is why I don't understand why people don't go that way. It's like, oh my God, you haven't seen it?
What's wrong with you? It's like, sorry, I was busy having sex or something cool, probably. It's like, no, I haven't seen Nosferatu. I was smoking weed with celebrities. Which is possible. I literally might have been doing that. I don't know. I can't. I've definitely smoked weed with some cool people. I don't know if I call them celebrities. Anyways.
Keanu Reeves is fun in it.
Oh, yeah.
Winona Ryder's is hot in it.
Tony
Gary
Hopkins
Oldman.
is Van Helsing, right?
Yeah, and
Anthony
Gary
Hopkins.
Oldman is like, God, he's like 3 different vampires in it.
Right, and he's like
his
sexy in
costumes,
it in a weird way, right?
Yeah, he's like sexy, but then he also gets real nasty looking.
Okay.
So, yeah, I highly recommend it.
There's a scene that I remember seeing on TV or something where Keanu Reeves is like on this bed. I thought it was a water bed, but then these 3 like naked vampire ladies come out.
Yeah, they're like kind of slowly draining him. They're really fucking hot. Oh my God.
I feel like one of the sexy vampire ladies from that movie ended up being like a big deal. Let me see if I can figure out who it is.
Look it up. I think I know who you're talking about.
Is it Monica Bellucci?
They're really fucking gorgeous, these
Yes,
women.
Monica
Holy
Bellucci
shit.
was
Is
one of
it?
them.
Okay.
It makes sense because she's like ridiculously good looking, and she is the right kind of look to play like a sexy vampire, So that makes sense.
Yeah, I just think you'll love it. The makeup's great.
I gotta do it.
It's good.
It's time, and you're right. It's into the spooky season, so I need to do that. So as we wrap up this episode, everybody, go watch the vampire movies we talked about the last 10 minutes, and if you feel like it, you could also watch vampires.
I mean, watch it. Have your own opinion.
Yeah, totally. If you want to watch it, watch it. We're just telling you it's that we were, when you don't have a good experience watching a movie, I think it sucks the most when you can see the good movie there just out of reach, which is what this is.
Yeah. I was not pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
By this one. I was like stunned. I was too stunned to speak. Like,
And you were very confused about things, and I get that, because it's like, what the fuck? And I just kind of like, I don't know, I just focused on like, God damn it, what's James Woods doing now? But, you know. Honestly, you know what? The more I think about it, like, I kind of like all the scenes he's not in. So, I don't know. But any movie that mercilessly wastes Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa, it's going to be a hard climb for me after that. That guy's fucking great. They should have. You know what? Here's actually one thing I don't know why they didn't do, because you were talking about when his whole team gets killed and he like buries the heads and burns the bodies, and he's like, were they even turning? It's like, okay, why didn't they turn? Why didn't we have the master guy show up later with now the badass vampire hunters as vampires fighting the good guys? Like, dude, vampire Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa, right? Holy shit. Vampire Mark Boone Jr., come on! And vampire those other dudes? Oh, by the way, we didn't talk about the bad guy yet. I mean, we've mentioned him, but the master, what's his, Valak or some bullshit like that, right? It's always some
Valak.
bad guy sounding name. Okay.
Yeah, it's Valak or Valak.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's played by Thomas Ian Griffith, who people will know as the bad guy from Karate Kid 3. And he's been in a bunch of other stuff. But he plays like a smug bastard with a ponytail in the 90s a lot, because that's what he looked like. You know? So that's what he is in this movie, you know?
I didn't recognize him at all. He has a familiar face, but
Yeah,
I just
definitely.
could not place him in anything.
He's that guy that's in Karate Kid 3 that like has an evil dojo, and I think he like fucks with the trees, with the little bonsai trees, right? The bonsai trees, isn't that one? So
Yeah,
do you feel like we hit it or what?
I think so.
I think I can dig a good episode out of this.
Yeah.
Shanthrax, will you please throw out the social media stuff, please?
Follow us on Instagram at Earn Full of Popcorn. That's URNFULLA Popcorn. You can listen to the episodes on our website, earnfullofpopcorn.com, on Spotify, on Apple, on YouTube. YouTube is Earn Full of Popcorn Podcast. And yeah, that's it.
That's all.
That's all we got.
Thank you to Shandy. Thank you for being here. Well, you're not here, but you know what I mean. Thank you for being on the internet. Thank you to Jordan Cooper for writing and making our theme song. Thank you to Steve Canadian Ward, who made some of our original logos, which I think we're now getting rid of, right? So,
Sorry, Steve.
but we'll still thank you, because why not? We'll still thank you, because almost every time I say his name, you laugh a little bit, and I like that. So we'll still do that.
Because you always forget his name.
Yeah, well, it's got all those letters. It doesn't. His name is only 9 letters long.
Also, if anyone listens this far, and I was going to ask you, we're thinking about merch.
Oh!
Or I'm thinking about merch. I don't know if you're thinking about merch, but people have been asking me. I've actually gotten a couple in person or online if we're ever going to have merch. And I said, well, sometime, maybe. I was thinking maybe just the logo on a t-shirt and some stickers, like nothing fucking crazy. But if there's something particular that somebody wants to fucking pitch, go for it.
Yeah. And we'll steal it from you. Okay, so I guess we're good now. So hey, this episode will be short. The last time we had a pretty short episode was the other movie we didn't like so much, was just Versus. So there we go. Cool. Well, yeah, I should probably go. Anyways, I got to get dinner going, and I think I'm going to go play tennis with Margaret a little bit. Or she's going to play tennis. I'm going to be there with a racket. I don't know if you could safely call what I'll be doing tennis.